Hey guys, what's up? Sirmo11 here, and if you remember from a few months ago, I made a regular show theory based on the finale of the last season, and I basically said that Pops had some sort of destiny, and that was the reason why the park was going into space. And it turns out I was right. Now, I wasn't too excited about this, but some of you were and even came back to the video to tell me that I was right, which is awesome. And someone also said that I should make a video saying that my theory was correct, so here you go. Here's the video for this person. Now, if I ended the video off here, it would be very short, so I guess I can talk about regular show's final season. And I think it's going well so far, but this season does have the lowest viewership for the show so far. And it's gotten to the point where Adventure Time and regular show no longer have the hype or the viewership behind them. They aren't the shows running the network right now, and it might be the time to end these shows. And, well, both of them are ending anyway, so there we go. Regular show is ending in 2017. It's ending at the beginning of the year in January, and Adventure Time is ending in 2018. It still has, I wouldn't say a lot more. I think it has 2 more seasons to go. And that's not too bad, but I did like how long these shows lasted on the network. I think they've had some of the longest runs on Cartoon Network. And moving on to another topic, since Eileen came with them into space and, you know, she's dating Rigby, I kind of wish Margaret would have come with them too, because Margaret's kind of a main character, or like a character that we would see pretty often in the first few seasons, and then like the dating stuff kind of came in, then she had to move, and you know, stuff like that kind of like took her out of the show, and then she came back. It's kind of weird when you think about it, because how long is regular show like real time in their world? Because Margaret went to college and came back, and she works at the news, so that makes it seem like at least like 4 years have passed or something, and probably even more, but who knows. I don't even think we know how old Mordecai and Rigby are. I was thinking like Mordecai and Rigby would be like, I was thinking 20s, but I think they've been at the park for a very long time, so maybe late 20s, early 30s, around there. And kind of going back to like, oh, I wish Margaret would have come with them. Maybe even CJ could have come with them. We could have revisited Mordecai and Margaret with the whole thing that happened in the Christmas episode that was never really resolved. And I think this would have been a cool plot point. And I wanted them to return to Earth for a few episodes, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. So it would make sense to finish up some plot lines in space, such as the relationship plot lines, if they're not going to go back to Earth. But it would be a weird ending if they don't go back to Earth. So I have an idea for that, but I think I'll talk about that later on. But they have to come back to Earth at some point. Like, I don't want everything to be in space. And I believe Margaret even called out to Mordecai as they were going into space, so definitely have to finish up that relationship plot, even if it's short enough to, like, them running into each other's arms and, like, hey, space gave me a lot of time to think about things. Could we try this relationship thing again? Or could we try, you know, being good friends again or something? Can we hang out or something? Can we go on a date? Something like that. And I said that because Season 8 isn't all story. So this is the same show in space. It's not completely story-driven in space. So they could have added more stuff into space or something like that. I mean, they have episodes where they do random things and other episodes that are connected to the overall plot line in space. And I think a plot line was great for this show, but having plot lines might be confusing to people that just watch random episodes. But, you know, who cares about those people, right? And I also don't know how kids respond to this. I don't know how they watch TV, because only person I have to use for an example about TV is myself. And myself as a kid, I would try to watch every episode. I would try to watch a show whenever it was on and everything. I would normally keep up with shows. And I guess as I got older, if I were to miss an episode, I would look it up online. But we have a DVR, so I don't really miss anything usually, unless the TV show company messes up with the whether or not it's like a new episode or something. Moving on, where are we at? I did think a few of the plot lines were a little weird, like how they lived in the space tree but also had access to the house and still went to the house. It seemed a little odd, because it's like, oh, we can't really live in the house right now because all our beds are gone, but we can still visit there. And I think the weird part about it the true weird part about it was they were in the space tree, and then some of the episodes would start off in the house. It was just confusing. But again, that's just like the living situation for a little bit in the show. Now they're sort of traveling in space and building up to a final fight, which is okay, but I do hope they go home for maybe 3 to 5 episodes. Or have the season finale be an hour long. That also works too. Half of it could be Pops versus anti-Pops, get that over with. Them going back to Earth, them kind of like finishing up some relationships, maybe giving Benson another girlfriend or something. I forgot, I think Pam, yeah, I think that was still going on when he went into space. So have that, Muscle Man and Starla. I don't know if High Five Ghost is still hanging out with that one girl. Skips doesn't date anyone. You know, just go back to Earth. You know, I want to see some of the other characters. I also like when they went into space and they showed some of the villains and stuff from some previous episodes. That was cool. You know, just do that. Maybe go through some events that have happened in regular show. That'd be cool. Just do something. You know, just make it sentimental. Make it good. I'd also like to see, I kind of already just mentioned that, but this is in the script, so I'll just say it anyway. I'd also like to see some of the characters or locations that they went to while they were still on Earth. So again, just kind of go through all that stuff, show some events, show some of regular show's best moments. That'll be cool. Maybe have Thomas come back, because we did see Thomas when they went into space. Thomas would have been cool to go into space with them, because they could have talked about the whole Russian spy thing and covered that. But I don't know how much of that's going to be covered, because I don't think regular show is ever going to come back after this. I think this is the end of regular show. So try to tie up all the loose ends that you can, or at least just show the characters. Have a big party. I don't know. They should end the show with just Mordecai and Remy just going, oh, or something at a party. I think that would be cool. I think at one point they had the option to go home and they decided to stay in space. That's kind of stupid. I would have gone home immediately if I were given the option, but again, I guess the situation that they're in is kind of serious, but again, I would like to go home. But that's going to be the end of this random discussion about regular show's final season. Thank you for telling me that my theory was correct and wanting a video on it. I hope you're watching the final season of regular show. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on that. So, yeah. Anyways, that's it for me. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like my content and want to see more, be sure to subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and like me on Facebook. The links are below. I'm Sir11. See you next time, and peace.